enter. Ladies and gentlemen, Slim is here this morning. Yes, and Mr. Debo did not see that coming. I'm going to come and shock you, Mr. I'm going to give you a surprise.
He shocked me.
He shocked you.
He shocked me.
Guys, good morning.
Good morning, viewers. So I guess because we're on the 18th day of the fast.
No, I'm on the 25th.
We have, okay, Slimmy said she's on the 25th. She saw the moon earlier.
Yes, I started.
Because she uses glasses, so her vision is sharper.
And I see far.
So, so she will celebrate her own end of fast even much earlier. You can imagine that.
Good morning, Mr. Debo.
Good morning, good morning. Nice to have you.
Yes,
our August.
That's a lie, Mr. Debo.
Our August host.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Anytime
You know
I
that. When last did we see her? Here.
Last month.
Regular viewers.
Sometimes last month.
Last month what? Your dream? Maybe you've been doing property matter in your dream.
Maybe, just maybe. But anyways, I know you're treating something amazing. I mean, first off, this is one of the best property show. I know say the air for TV. Now, I always advise people say you do not have to miss this show. So if you want to learn everything that has to do with property management, the business side, everything. It don't treat so many topics way back, and that means if you go watch those ones on top of our YouTube channel. But then there are new things for you guys to always have to learn on the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's Property Matter with Engineer Debo this morning.
Thank you very much. Once again, good morning, viewers. We believe that you've been enjoying. At least the weather has changed a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not as hot as it used to be, and I think that we are most grateful for that.
Right.
Just that you then have to cope with the roads and traffic. But then, bad rules are not, well, win some, lose some, I guess. Right. Okay, so today we'll be talking about the factors that affect the real estate market. Factors that affect the real estate market. There are various things that affect or impact the real estate market. The last time we were here, we talked about how technology influences the real estate industry, you know, the influence technology has on the real estate market. So, going to the factors that affect the real estate market, let's start from the very important one. Let's put it that way, or the most important one is the economy. The economy affects the real estate market a great deal. If the economy is good, you know, the real estate market will be bubbling. You know, if there is upward swing in the economy is doing well. I mean, people will be interested in buying properties. So once they are interested, cheaper, right? Well, not necessarily cheaper, but people would have the power, the purchasing power, to buy them. And once people are interested in buying, guess what will happen? The producers that produce these properties would also be interested in producing. So there will be a lot of people coming into the property market. So you see a lot of people becoming developers, people that are doing some other business before start to have development because they can see that there is so much demand property. And that will mean that artisans will also have a lot of work, you know, to do. And that way, you know, it will impact on the whole market. You know, the whole market, the market as a whole. So that is property market for you. That is economy and how it affects property market for you. I mean, so when a country's economy is doing well, you can almost be sure that the property market in that country will be doing well. Remember, if we cast our mind back to whenever they say that there is a challenge in the economy, you see that the property market will also be complaining. Yes,
I mean, right now, we are complaining. Yes, no, Mr. Debo, seriously, it's not funny. My landlord came like 2 months. You don't ever call me about this rant.
In fact, about your landlord. Or some other friend's landlord.
Yeah, but this time around is my landlord.
Is your landlord? That your landlord has been very good, though.
It was good then. When he gave us money, but now it's not good.
Oh.
Yes, now, because he added.
Yeah, I remember he gave you money during Corona now.
That's how many years ago. But now it's not like he wants to stylishly collect the money, because he came like how many Sundays ago and he added 100,000 naira to my rent, and I was thinking like, it's not like they did any renovation, because now you're talking about the economy. So
the economy did renovation.
No, Mr. Debo, it's not fair. See, if you're going to add to people's rent, then we should see the reasons for the add, because
you can't see the reason.
I cannot see.
You that you are on the 25th fast when everybody's on the 18th.
It does not mean, Mr. Debo, it does not mean. It does not mean anything because now he's blaming it on the economy. And I asked him,
he's blaming it.
Yes. What does the economy have to do with this?
It's not like everything. The economy has got everything.
Mr. Debo, he did not renovate the property.
It's not about renovating the property. That property is his investment. Whatever he earns from it, he wants to be able to take it to the market to sustain his life. If things have gone up in the market, guess what? Whatever he used to collect from you guys before to sustain his life can no longer do that. So he needs to increase it to the level. That's the truth. It's an investment for him. What percentage increase was that?
It was 100.
No. You said 100,000.
Yeah, he added 100.
Like, what was your rent before?
Okay, initially was 700, so now I'm paying 800.
So now you're paying 800.
Yes.
So the man did something like just a little over 10%.
I just feel, because the truth is, like he said now, he's blaming it on the economy.
No, sincerely, Slimy, take it from me. Your landlord is a good landlord.
That he added 100,000.
I'm telling you. That is just like about 15% or so increase on your rent. This is the same man you said yourself,
that gave
gave you rebates.
The economy got this.
Gave you rebates during coronavirus. That man is very considerate. Because why am I saying that? When we talk about the rate at which things have gone up, he's talking about the economy. And if he really wants to catch up with that, absolutely, he wouldn't do anything less than about 30% increase for you, sincerely. But doing 15%, I'm telling you, I will tell you the truth. Doing 15%, that man is a good man. I said it at the beginning of the year. When we were trying to project into the year, and I said, guys, get ready for rent increase.
Yeah, you did.
Do you remember?
Yeah, you did. Yes.
I said, get ready for rent increase. If you miss that episode, maybe there are other things in the year that you are not ready for. You want to go and watch that episode when I analyze what is likely going to happen in the year. Because, you see, the man does not exist in isolation. He lives in this present time. It takes the same Okada. It takes the same Mara. It takes the same transport you take. It goes to the same market you go to. He buys the same thing. He pays the same school fees or things like that, So he definitely will increase. If a landlord is increasing rent right now, he's not out of being wicked, though. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So please, again, think differently about your landlord. I think that man is a good man.
I don't know if I have
I'm telling you. And when the economy is doing well, you know through a number of indications, the major one is the GDP, gross domestic product.
Yeah.
That's what they measure by. Prices of goods also will indicate whether the economy is doing well or not. Employment data would also indicate that, whether employment is going up or coming down, all of those. So that's one, economy. It affects the real estate market. The other thing that affects the real estate market that people may not take notice of is demography. Demography. Demography talks about age, examples of age, gender, race, sometimes, income level, migration pattern and things like that. Those are things around demography. Do you know that when, let's say, for example, the population of a country consists of older people, more of older people than young people, the production of new properties in that country will not be as much because the demand for new properties will not be as much. Why? The people that are more in the population are older people. They already have their properties.
Yeah, already, yes.
The rate of request or demand for new properties will not be as compared to a country that has population of, the population is made up of more younger people that also probably have the economic power. So demography is important. It's the reason why.
But does that work here? Because I think
it works everywhere. So why are we not experiencing so much in terms of demand? Yes, we have very young population. Yes, but they are not economically as empowered, compared to some other places. So it's a balance of, it's not just the number. It has to be an effective number. Effective number in the sense that the number that has the power to be able to place effective demand.
Which is the other way around.
You know, so that is a challenge. And that's why countries, you know, there are countries who plan their demography. They have to watch their demography. And so they sometimes allow, take, for example, during when Britain did Brexit, and exited from the European Union. You know, they then, knowing that a lot of people that they had in their employment would have to leave and go back to their European countries because now the conditions will not be as favorable to them as it used to be. They looked at the world and started to relax the conditions for other countries that they know will still find UK interesting. And that's when the rate of Nigerians now being able to go there again.
Yes, spiked up. Yes.
Came up because they relaxed that condition because they know they need that population, that demography, you know, the working class of one age or the other. Those are the information they use to formulate their policies. Do you understand? So what now happens is that if a young couple from Nigeria moves to the UK, you know, one of the major things they will first need, they will have to need a place to stay.
Yes, accommodation.
So they will rent first, then later, as they get settled, they will be buying. So that will that will sustain the economy of that place, you know, in a great deal. So demography also affects in terms of the age bracket you have, the race you have, the gender, you know, and things, and their movements, you know, how they move, how they migrate, affect a lot.
I think, Mr. Bell, we need to go for a break. Okay.
So
when we come back, I think they open the phone lines and the show definitely going to continue. Stick around, we'll be right back. Today, we look into all the factors then, where they responsible. They talk about properties and all that. But right now, we open our phone lines. Yes, feel free to relate with us. You know, in case you get contributions where you want to make on top of the factors where they affect the real estate market, or you be a real estate person yourself, you want to follow Mr. Adeboto, please feel free to call those numbers with it on your screen. Just help us turn down the volume with the screen so that we feel relate with you well. Straight up, we don't talk about economy, right, Mr. Debo?
Yes,
Mr. Debo is saying I should forgive my landlord.
Yes, sir. He has not even offended you.
He has, Mr. Debo.
He has not even offended. So there's no
because the truth is, you see, Mr. Debo, what people don't understand is, you see this increase what they talk about, the economy. The economy is actually affecting everybody, not just him.
Yes.
Because now he's increasing it. Is it not affecting me too? Does it care about going to make the money?
Everybody would have to increase. Organizations too are increasing their the prices of their stuff. Hope you know that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so it's like that. It has to go round because it's affecting him. So where will he put his own? You don't want him to increase. So how will he survive? He should be the savior of the world.
I mean, we're just thinking like, how was it really affecting him, though? Seriously, outside the fact that yes, things are expensive, but you're collecting rent from everybody. So imagine if you have to add to everybody's rent. But I mean, like you said, it's his business, and he has to also increase.
It's his investment, you know.
It's
so we've spoken about the economy, we've spoken about demography. Another thing that impacts the real estate market is interest rates. Interest rate. Whenever you hear that interest rate is coming down or is going up, it has serious implication on the market. Now, for example, when interest rate goes up, what happens is that houses become more expensive, you know, and once they become more expensive, fewer people can buy.
Okay.
You know, yes, and once fewer people can buy, there will be fewer production. So it slows down the market, you know, because if somebody needs to take a mortgage, you know, to buy a property, and the rate he's going to pay is now higher than he can afford, it means that the mortgage has become much more expensive, and the person will not be able to afford that mortgage. So, or if he's going to be able to afford, or fewer people are now going to be able to afford that mortgage. So fewer people will be buying properties. That's what it means. So interest rate. Then if interest rate comes down,
obviously there'll be more people.
It means it will be cheaper to obtain loan and do real estate business. Both for the person buying, we know we spoke about mortgage the other time, and even for the person that is producing it, constructing. Since it is cheaper to get loan interest rates are lower, more people will be able to borrow money to build, more people will be able to borrow money to buy, so there will be activity in the industry. So there will be more supply, there will also be more demand. Yes, it will affect on both sides, and it will be positive effect at the end of the day. So that's what we mean by interest impacting on the real estate market. So whenever you see interest going up, know that the market will be negatively impacted. And when you see interest coming down, you know, the market will be positively impacted. So that's one other factor that affects the real estate market.
So but when is the best time for a real estate dealer? Like when do they really make profit? Is it when the economy is like
down?
Like, because I'm just trying to see a balance sheet here. Like, when does it really favor them? When does the market really favor them?
Favor a real estate player.
Yeah.
So the real estate player must learn to make money anytime.
Okay.
You know, otherwise that will be gaming the market, and you cannot successfully game the market all the time. You know, so the real estate player must learn to make money all the time. However, it is a lot easier to make money when there is boom in the economy.
Okay.
They call it,
there'll be more demand.
Yeah, so sometimes they call it a boom or a bubble, you know, and then after every boom is a cycle. There will be a downturn after every boom. After every bubble comes a bust, right? So that is how it is. It's like that. That is cycle. It's like sine wave, you know. I think we've taken this before. So, but a real estate player must learn to make money here or there. Sometimes you make money when you buy.
Okay.
You always should make money when you
buy.
Okay. What I mean by that is you should not buy above market price anytime, except it's a mistake, and then you will have to pay for it by waiting for correction, okay, to happen. But you must always buy right, okay? So a lot of people make money from buying, because if you are buying in a crashed economy, where more people want to sell their property than people that are able to buy, it will mean that there will be a lot of properties that are being, you know, people are just flinging them because they want to get rid of this property and move on with their life. So they'll be lowering the prices. If you have money to buy
as much as you can.
At those times, you'll be making a lot of money. Now, a lot of people make money from selling. Now, when you sell at the time that everybody is into money. Let's say, for example, you've bought rights, right? And you are now selling when everybody can easily access cash, can easily access loan. There will not be, prices will be increasing because demand is increasing. Once demand is increasing, price will increase. That's economics. And people will be buying. So if you sell at those times also, you make good money. Yeah. So those are the times that you can make money. The other factor that affects is government policies. And government policies have a way of impacting and affecting the real estate market. Take, for example, in our country, we have a policy of government that enables people to make contribution, and then from their contribution, they will be able to get loan to access property, you know, by way of NHF and things like that. You know, that particular policy has impacted the property market in a huge way, positively, in the sense that just that alone, I know they've created a number of loans over time that has supported the purchase of thousands of properties. What it means is that without that kind of policy and system in place by government, those acquisitions, those ownership, those transactions wouldn't have been possible, you know. So also bad policies of government can also impact. We have James from Abuja. James, how are you? Good morning.
Hello, James.
James, Sonu.
Oh, it's gone.
I think we lost James. We lost James. So, just as good policies impact favorably, bad policies
Does,
also
obviously.
affect. Policies on maybe access to land, policies on maybe construction, policies on monitoring development, policies on cost of documentation, all of those kind of things, you know. Any policy that affects the beauty industry would impact the market, whether positively or negatively. So government is a major constituent and a major player, determining factor in how the construction or real estate industry turns out. Okay, so that's why we always appeal to our government and always have to work hand in hand with them to ensure that we have good policies that can endanger transactions, you know, growth in the markets. So that's another factor. The other one is, I think I alluded to it earlier partially, is unemployment. If unemployment rate in a country is growing, of course, it means that fewer people are earning money enough to be able to purchase property, to be able to rent property. So it would affect the property market. Unemployment rate. That's why it's always a concern for the economics when you look at the unemployment rate of any country and it is growing. You know, so when the unemployment rate is growing, real estate market is impacted negatively. When the unemployment rate is falling, that is, more people are getting gainfully employed. It means that more people are becoming more and more empowered to be able to, transact in the real estate space. And that usually is a lot better for the economy. So anything that we do that would encourage employment is directly, okay, or indirectly also favoring the real estate space. And anything that we do that would impact and make unemployment to be falling,
definitely negative.
You know,
negative.
Fewer people will be able to afford. You can imagine your landlord increase rent now, and let's say, you know, during that COVID period, for example, a lot of people lost their jobs.
Yeah, obviously.
And landlords were in a mess because here you have people in your apartments who cannot afford except they get another job. You know, so a lot of people had no choice than to give their tenant quick notice at those times, because also if they keep you in the house long enough that you cannot pay rent, it will start to also affect them. So unemployment is huge and it affects. Maybe the last one we discussed today is consumer confidence. Consumer confidence, you know, the quality of performance in the space, in the real estate space, can also affect consumers' confidence. So, for example, if consumers are apprehensive, maybe in terms of the quality of what is being produced, or in terms of trust or ability to be able to deliver as promised, you know, if those things are negatively impacted, fewer people will be willing to bring out their money to buy properties. So people will be more reluctant to buy properties than being open to it. But if the producers, the performers the players in the industry are performing, they are delivering as promised and things like that, it would impact, and they will easily be able to, and without thinking twice, afford these properties, bring out money and commit to it, and that will boost purchase and positively impact. So confidence, consumer confidence, and that really is in the hands of the industry players and the policy makers to ensure that the right policies are put in place, and for also the industry players to play their cards very well and ensure that they do things that can encourage trust. So those are the points that we shared today.
Thank you so much for joining us again on Property Matter. Next week, Tuesday, hopefully.
Yes, we'll be here, and maybe our August visitor will be here.